this is the basic understandings and getting started with Photoshop for drone operations 1. If you look here, you'll see the Photoshop emblem should be in your toolbar down here. If it is not, you can go to your Launchpad, and you can scroll to your left, and there you will find Photoshop, Premiere Pro, Media Encoder, and After Effects. We're going to do Photoshop. Double click it. That's going to open Photoshop. Now, this is the very basics Photoshop. So the first thing you're going to do is open a new file. I recommend the default Photoshop size. It's already selected in blue. Now we can go down here and hit create. This gives us our blank background, white background. If you can see over here on your right side of the screen, it says layers. These are important. What Photoshop basically is layering, layering images on top of each other. And that way it allows you to change certain things on one layer that clearly affect or do not affect other pages. Down here in the right hand corner is your trash can. Right here is your create a new layer. You're going to use the trash can and create a new layer a lot. You're also going to use your create a new group, create a new fill, and then add mask. These tools right here are very important. The other important tools are right here on the left. These are actually really, really important. Let's see, this one is our grabber tool or direction tool. Let's say I want to hit stop on recording because it's going to be loud. Just pull in an image. So I'm going to go to Finder, and I've recently downloaded something from Google Images. So I find here in my downloads, let's say I'll find this JPEG right here. I'm going to drag it in. Or at least, there we go. So that's one way of doing it. And you click and drag and make it fit. The other way is starting from the Finder. You can right click and then open with and then Photoshop. If you do it that way, it'll come in the exact same size of the image that you want it to be. All right, so get it kind of close right there. I don't want any white. So let's say I want to put a text here. So I go over here to my text tool. Okay, click on that. Then I can click on my horizontal type tool. I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to just type piano. I love impact. It's perfect for this type of thing. And I want to change the size now that it's highlighted, as you can see. I can go up here to the very top and I can change it to a bigger size. Let's go with 60. Very good. Now you can see my cursor right now is kind of like a black diamond. When it's outside of the text, it's this black diamond. I can move it wherever I want. I'm going to put it right there. It's still selected, so I'm going to go up here. If I want to change the font, I go over here, and then I can scroll down and see what the font is. I can change what type of font, if it's regular or bold. Impact is always just bold. And then I can change the color right here. Now, I can change the color by clicking in here and picking a color. And I can also slide up and down to find a different color. I want it to match this red right here that's on the reflective part of these keys. So I'm going to click here, and it's going to change it to that color. And to be honest, I kind of like the greenish gray that was there before. So I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go to my greens. I'm going to find a green gray that's kind of light right there. That looks pretty good. Okay, now I can drop that in. Perfect. Now, let's say I want to add some effects to this. What I can do is I can double click on this text. These are all of the different types of layer styles, things that I can do to this layer, the text layer. So I'm going to go here to bevel. That's the first one. Now when you click on the arrow here, it changes the text, as you can see, but it doesn't change this. This is where we can control all of the changes. So what I have to do is click right here, and now I can change the effect. So I can make the depth of the bevel really deep, or I can make it shallow. Okay, I can change the direction, up or down, like up. I can make this size way big. If you go too big, it distorts it, right? About there, that looks good. And then I can soften it so it's not as hard of an image. Okay, you can change the angle of the bevel. I'm clicking here. And I believe this is the highlight color. So right now it's this bright white. You can change the highlight color to a different color if you want. There are different reasons to do whatever. I like to keep it at white though. It's pretty standard. Okay, these are all different types of things. Let's say we want to give it an outline. Well, an outline is called a stroke in Photoshop. So we click that. And you can see now there's an outline. Now, click in that area right there, and I can change the color of the stroke. We do bright white. That looks pretty good. You can change the blend mode. Keep it at normal. And then you can change the fill type. Anyway, all of these have different cool effects. We can go with a drop shadow as well. And if you play around with your drop shadow, you can actually make it look like there's a light shining on your object, giving it the shadowy effect. And then I hit OK. So now I have an image dragged in. I have text brought in and typed. I've showed you where you can modify it. This is, of course, like I said, the very, very beginning stages. I'll show you one more cool thing before we move on. I'm going to add a text. I'm going to add piano. I'm going to keep it the same color. But before I do anything else to it, what I want to do is get it to about the right size that I want it to be, which happens to be there. And now I'm going to go up here to this tool right here. This is their 3D button. If we click on that, it turns that text into a 3D image. Now the 3D image control tools are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This first one that's selected allows me to move it around in 3D space. Okay. This one here makes it go up and down, left and right. Rotate, I should say. Up and down here. You can actually see its shadow in the background, and it moves. The shadow actually moves with it. Kind of. This tool here allows you to make it big or small. Okay. And then this tool Gargantua, right? See how the shadow's growing with it? Pretty cool. All right, now once you're done with that, you've created it the way you want it to be, you can click out of it, and now you're back to using a regular layer, and you have to use the regular layer tools. Oh, actually, no. That's cool. I didn't notice that before. It's giving me the option to actually continue modifying it in 3D. That must be the new 2023 edition. Anyway, very cool. So that is your introduction to Photoshop, how to drag in a picture, and how to add text. We are going to be doing this a lot. And also how to do 3D text tools. Very cool. Very fun. All right.